Pro tips for Cambridge GCSE Economics. Your written exam is the most important exam of them all. It is double the weight of your multiple choice, so we need to know what we need to do. You'll notice in the exam you have 3 choices out of 4 questions in the second section. You can see here numbers 2, number 3, 4, number 5. You've got to choose 3 of those blocks. Now the sections come in packs of 2, 4, 6 and 8. You need to know how to answer each one. Generally, you can ignore this top section, but we need to look at this. The key word here is identify. So for your 2 marks, don't write too much, just write the 2 key words that the examiner needs. Do you remember how to measure unemployment? So if you write the 2 words claimant and count, you should get a mark, and you should also write the ILO method. You're not writing too much, you don't even need to explain it, just identify them. All right, next for your 4 marks. Generally, this is an explain question. So 1 factor, 1 mark, explain it, 1 mark. Another factor, 1 mark, explain it, another mark. You get the method? You get around 3 chances with this in most questions. So if you remember HDI for living standards, so one example would be GDP per capita. You get 1 mark for expressing that, and then you get your other mark for explaining it. So you could say an increase in average GDP per person leads to better quality standards of living. These people are able to buy more goods and services and enjoy them. All right, let's move on to C, the 6 marker. It always follows this same pattern, but with this one, it's a little bit different. When we run an analysis, we're looking at logical chains. So we're looking at A goes to B, goes to C, and you could write 2 logical chains and get all the marks, or you might need to write 3 or 4. So in this case, market forces, let's say there's an increase in demand for your product. This leads to a higher price and more quantity needing to be produced. Therefore, companies, to meet that demand, are more willing to produce goods and services. So supply will increase, which leads to an increase in demand for labor, which pushes up wages. So you see how A goes to B, goes to C. In some of these mark schemes, you might get 5 marks. In some of them, you might get 3 marks for it. So try to get 3 logical chains in there to maximize your mark potential. And the 4th one, discuss. Really, really important. Discuss always means 2 sides, okay? So you get a maximum of 5 marks for each side. So if you got really strong on one side, a bit weaker on the other, you still might be able to gain full marks. So we've got explain one side, explain the other side, and a conclusion. Make sure you put a conclusive statement. Your conclusive statement can say A is more important than B is more important than A, or we're somewhere in the middle, but make sure that you establish that. So for example, free trade can lead to increases in demand for your goods and services, which means businesses sell more, which means they employ more, which means incomes go up, which means governments get more tax and they can use that to help the economy and make it more productive. Great. What about if this free trade leads to your country selling their resources for a really cheap price and then those resources run out? Then you've got no jobs to extract them anymore and you've got no resources to sell. So it could lead to massive economic and environmental decline. See what I'm doing there? I'm talking about both sides. Then you weigh it up. Which one's more important? Make a choice. Hopefully that's enough to start smashing your exams. All right, that's it for me. If you want some resources or to study my course, just click the links down below. Have a great day.